I'm here with author Jeff Wilson, and I get asked all the time, how does the book even begin? And this is kind of a unique story, so I thought we'd share it.
Yeah.
We're both authors and we're friends. We knew each other. And then you texted me one day and said, hey, can we meet for coffee? I have an idea.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about
That's
that,
right. So we
actually.
met at Buddy Brew.
That's right. Was that after Oxford or before? I can't remember.
I
Something,
don't
I don't know.
remember.
It's all a blur.
But you were starting an imprint before
hmm
it was even announced.
hmm
And I'm just kind of curious, why did you think I would be a
Because
good...
I had read your other stuff and we had
Ah.
talked. That's where it
Okay,
was. We
we talked
talked
at
at
Oxford.
Oxford.
Yes.
And so I knew about this new series that you were going to write. And it
Oh,
just
that's
seemed,
right.
it's like what we do, right?
Right.
It's got the military thriller aspects. Um, and so we're just at the very beginning of filling out an imprint. You don't want it to look like it's only my books then it looks like a vanity press, right? So
Right,
we
right.
were talking to Ward Larson and we were talking to
hmm
Josh Hood and we were talking to, all the
Don
other,
Bentley.
and so we were bringing authors in. And after you and I spoke and you had talked about that story, I was like, that'd be a great story.
I
So
forgot about that. I forgot we had that
yeah,
conversation at
because we
Oxford.
had already talked about it.
That's
So
right.
see, I already
Okay.
knew what I was doing.
You
Thought
sure
it
did.
was
Well, most of the guys that write for the Awe imprint, which is Andrews and Wilson Entertainment, have served. So why do you think I could write this kind of book?
Yeah, so I will tell you that the imprint is heavily represented by,
Mhm.
Josh is,
Yes.
Don is, we
Mhm.
are, of course. But that's not really what the imprint's about. The imprint is about that sort of the ethos of those people. And
Mhm.
so if you look at team and mission before self, and you look at those selfless heroes that do the right thing even when it's hard, those sorts of questions, that's what the imprint is really about. And it's not all military thrillers. We actually just
Mhm.
signed an author that's doing a psychological thriller, but it's still
Ah,
that mission before self, a
right.
selfless hero arc. And yours just
Fit it.
resonated. Yeah,
Yes.
resonated as that type of story. But it also was at a time when this, these secret contract things that were going on and
Mhm.
rescuing people is like, I knew people that were doing it. When
Right.
we had spoken at Oxford, I knew someone who was overdoing it at that moment.
Wow.
And so it really resonated for that reason
So
as
what Jeff
well.
is talking about is like Gray Bull Rescue and some of these nonprofits that made up heavily of former veterans, but they'll go into the danger zones when the United States government can't or won't, and rescue Americans in danger.
Right.
And that's definitely mission before self. And I really just latched onto that as, gosh, what heroes those guys and women are. But also, my dad's in the Air Force and was in the Air Force. God rest his soul. And my daughter flies for Delta.
Yeah.
And so I wanted it to be a father-daughter team that leads up this rescue mission as kind of a shout out to them. So it just kind of worked. So gosh, what is the main goal, and like who else is part of this team?
I mean, there's some announcements yet to
Mhm.
that are coming still that we're not supposed to talk about until they're officially
Right.
announced. But we just signed someone who's just leaving active duty pretty
Oh,
soon,
nice.
who has
Mhm.
served 24 years, Naval Academy graduate, fighter pilot, Top Gun type, who is his first book will be with us. And then about Josh.
Yes.
You know about Jack Stewart,
Right.
who
Don
is,
Bentley.
yeah, Don
Mhm.
Bentley, and you've had Jack before on on
Yeah.
your show.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've had Jack
so
on the show
Jack's
before.
great.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's sort of, and so they're all people too.
Right. They're my
You were
friends,
just
actually.
you were with Jack in New
At
York
Thriller
last
Fest.
week,
Yes, I
right?
love all
So
these
these
guys.
are all great guys, and yeah, you haven't served, but you're still part of that community because of the way you
Yes.
write and what you write. I think
Yeah.
it's going to resonate,
And the way I was raised too. I've
and the
always had
way
a
you were
love.
raised,
Yes.
100%. Let me tell you, being the dependent of a veteran
hmm
or of a military service member is a
Yeah.
way harder job. My wife will not admit that, but I know it's true. I
Yeah.
know it's true.
Well, it takes a village, takes a team, and I'm happy to join yours.
Yeah, we're so glad to have you.
So look for the books, Awe from Blackstone Publishing.
Yep.